there's two stories that come to mind, and obviously there's a special place in my heart for the league because they gave a 21-year-old kid at Seton Hall a shot to do some interviews with some people and said, you know what, maybe we'll hang on to him a little bit. Like, when you're young in this, you need someone to take a shot on you. And the Big East gave me a shot. They did. And, you know, there's different people that work for different conference networks all over the country and do an amazing job. And the Big East does not have a say, Big East Network on TV, but I get to do the Big East Network on Twitter and YouTube. And what I can say is, throughout the years, what's great about doing this role is they really give me the autonomy to go to the games that I think are the biggest games. And in the past couple of years, I'll go to a game, and it's primarily been, you know, UConn big home game, a Providence big home game, maybe Marquette or Creighton here or there, Xavier here or there. Never to Georgetown. Almost never to St. John's, to be candidly honest, unless it was a big time brand coming in. You know, Villanova, never DePaul. But like, my point is, anytime you pick one, there's other coaching staffs texting saying, where the hell were you? Why didn't you pick this game? Or why didn't you pick our game? Or why aren't you ever in Milwaukee? You have a Northeast bias, whatever. Okay, that's fine. My point, it's going to be really hard to pick the best games in this league every Saturday, the best game in this league every Wednesday. And I would just follow it up because I was looking at Laval and I thought of this.
Victoria's going to be real mad when you really rack up those freaking flyer miles next year, man. She's going to be like, give me my Fanta back.
Who?
Your fiance.
Well, the wedding's in September. So
True.
just like St. John's locked up Patino, I got a deal done here. Okay. There ain't no, I got the dotted line. I'm pressed up here. All right. We're getting that deal out of the way. Needless to say, the other story I wanted to share, and I'm sorry to go on story time, but Laval knows this from coaching at Butler. Right around September, October, I would go out to each campus, see everybody practice, and then talk with you and your players when you're done for sit-downs. And Kamar Baldwin, great Butler player, great player for coach. You know, Kamar, at least to me, like, didn't always say a lot. You know, he was yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir. Like, most polite kid, nicest kid ever. I love the kid. I hope he's doing great. We're sitting down for a conversation, and I sit down with him, and we're talking a little bit here and there. And he looks at me. It's the only time he ever said this to me. He goes, hey, I got a question for you, sir. Because I got a question for you, sir. I'm like 23, 24. Like, I don't need to be called sir. I looked up and I go, yeah, what's that? He goes, so, like, you have the best job in college basketball, right? And I looked at him and I said, you know what, Kamar? Yeah, I do. Because I get to cover this league. And covering this league closely, it just means more. And now the programs that it means most to are back on the map.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. That is the perfect way to say it, Fanta. The perfect way to say it.
Dagan, are there any other question answers?
Well, I got to be honest. That was just like the perfect way to end the show. So I feel like we should do a toast after that. That was like too good.
Go to toast.
Like, take a random question about God knows what.
Laval, isn't that Kamar Baldwin to a T?
Oh, to a T. To a T. Sir.
What's he up to?
He's grown. He's married. He's got a kid. He still calls me sir. I love him. He's in Maine. He's with the Celtics G League team right now.
Good for him. Good. Nicest kid ever. And I got to tell you, I know that this might come off as a hot take to some. If I had to pick a Big East player from the last 5 years that's taken the final shot in the game, I'm sorry. I'm taking Kamar Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
That kid hit more shots for Butler.
I know who I'm picking in that one.
Right?
My money. Oh, yeah. He had it. He had it. He had it. And he could be 1 for 9. He's one of those guys, Rob. He could be 1 for 9. He still had it.
He's still hitting it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It'll be fun to have the coaches. Just, you think about, like, there's no Coach K, there's no Roy Williams, there's no Boeheim in the ACC. You know, all these coaches are kind of finding Coach Larinaga, Coach Hamilton, but the coaches that you're going to talk about, are in the Big East. There'll be a lot of talk about that. So that's a good. It's a big fun for you, John.
And look, the coaches, that's what drives. Those are the brands, right? The coaches are the brands. It's not as much the players, because as soon as a player becomes great, he's probably heading off to the NBA. That's just what it is in college basketball, right? The coaches at this level are the ones that people kind of connect with. And not to get back in the Cooley conversation, but that's probably why there's a lot of hurt feelings right now and disappointing people in Friartown. Should we do Today's episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play college basketball pick'em, where you can get a little extra sweat during March Madness and win real cash prizes simply by picking player stats in this weekend's games. In pick'em, all you do is predict whether a player will go higher or lower on Underdog's projected totals, whether that's points, rebounds, whatever. For example, if you're like me and you think Zach Edey is going to go nuts in this tournament, pick higher on his points projection, add up to 4 more picks, and if you hit them all, you can win 20 times your money on a single game. Underdog's slick mobile app is easy enough that dummies like Jeff Goodman have even figured it out. So go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app and use the code FIELD, FIELD, and Underdog will match your deposit up to $100. Now is the time to get in on the madness. So remember, underdogfantasy.com, promo code FIELD.